I realize that, I don't really make that big a deal about Father's Day because kids, it's like, I make them feel like they got to get me something, a card or a mug that says world's greatest dad. I'm not the world's greatest dad. I'm going to say it right now, Sherry. So I don't
Really?
I don't deserve the mug or the whatever else.
Okay.
Hat that says world's greatest dad. Because then you run into another dad that's got the same hat on. You're like, oh, hold on a second. I made 2 of these hats? Is your father still alive?
He is still alive. Yeah, I'm going to see him tomorrow, as a matter of fact. He is in a nursing home, and my mom is still alive as well. They will have been married 67 years next week, if you can believe that.
Oof,
so
yes.
We're all going to get together with him tomorrow.
Wow.
So it'll be nice. And I did buy him presents.
You did?
I did, yes.
And how does he receive the presents for Father's Day? Do you make a big deal about it? Sherry, you're my present. Does he say that?
No.
Does he ask for the receipt presents so he can return it?
Right. No, he does love presents, but he's very gracious about it. He's a really nice guy. You know what he loves the most? He loves cards. And he usually tears up because I always get him the mushiest card. My sister gets him a funny card. I spend so long picking out the perfect card for him with all of the sappy sayings and all the stuff about how much I appreciate him and he's such a great guy and I learned so much from him. And he loves that. Like he'll read it and he'll say, I don't deserve it. And I say,
does he read it out loud or you just sit there and you watch him and his eyes tear up?
His eyes tear up a little. He's almost 90. So, I mean, but he was always like that. He always loved to get sentimental cards. He's very sentimental.
Wow. Couldn't have a more different dad. Father's Day, he was normally playing golf, so he wouldn't be around. And my mom, we should get something for your dad, right? And then we'd forget. So then she'd run out to the drugstore, and hey, there you go. Whatever, huh? What? And he didn't care. I mean, he just didn't. Every day, like Christmas, everything. Hey, every day's Christmas for you guys, or every day's Father's Day, or is every day's your birthday? I mean, it's like, because he realized, like, I'm doing all the time. His biggest joke was, God's dead. He did it for the kids. So, in fact, I have actually played this once on the air. This is from my father. My brother and I talk about this. So he called me and left this message. He left the same message for my brother. This is September 8th, 2017. This is from my dad. So, by the way, my real name, or he called me Michael. My name is John Michael, but he always called me Michael. Everybody called me Michael. So listen to the way he gives this news. You ready? This is my father calling me to tell me that he will be dead in 2 weeks, and it'd be best for me to come out now. You ready? So this is a guy that you can't send my dad an emotional card. You ready?
Okay.
Michael, just got the results from the labs, and it's cancer, and it's the fast type.
Cancer.
So I told him taking maybe 3 months to live, but I don't want any heavy lifting, and I told him that no chemo, none of this crap, pretend they can keep you here for another 5 years. No, sir. No, I just told him no heavy lifting. That's it. Good that your plans are. I guess they're still saying come out on Sunday and we'll say goodbye. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
There you go.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm sorry.
Oh,
that really.
No, you know what the thing was? My brother said, "Whew, that's classic dad, right?" So you're gonna come out. See, what day are you getting in here? You're gonna come in Sunday. You fly back out Tuesday. You save yourself like $80, and no one's gonna be on the plane. You got all the leg room. I mean, that's the way he was so practical on this sort of stuff. So I remember when I went to the hospital to meet him. I walked in, because the nurse is going to discharge him to me. He goes, "Hey, you hear the news?" I said, "What's that?" He goes, "I'm dying." And I said, "Hey, Dan, we're all dying." He goes, "I'll get there sooner than you." And I said, "Okay." And I said to the nurse, "How's it dealing with my father?" He is an interesting person, I'll tell you that right now. But so for Father's Day, it didn't mean anything to him, but because, again, every day, as far as he was concerned, should be Father's Day. Mm-hmm. But for my kids, it's funny, I don't put any pressure on them. Because that's the same sort of thing with my dad. Didn't put any pressure on us. It was never like, hey, where's a tie? Or, where's a card? Or anything else. None of that kind of, I guess it was Irish Catholic. What's your father's background? What's his nationality?
Well, he's, pretty waspy. His dad was the town minister.
Oh, that's
right.
Yeah.
So he...
he's Irish?
No, I think our background is mostly Swiss.
Oh.
But he's not stoic at all. I mean, this is sad, but when he went into the nursing home, it would be really, really hard because we'd get there and he would start to cry, and then we'd leave and he would cry, and then I would cry in my car probably for 10 minutes before I could even drive home. And it was just, it's heartbreaking. I mean, it's a really difficult transition.
Yeah.
So he's always been an emotional guy. And that my mom's the opposite. My mom is tough, but he's a great guy. He's been a great dad. I'm just glad we still have him around, but I realize I'm realistic about where this was all going to go.
Right.
And it's hard to see him. The decline is really hard.
Yeah.
How long did your dad live after he made
2
the
weeks,
the
just
phone
like
call?
he said.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I came and I saw him, and then a week later he was gone. Yeah. I said goodbye to him, and
it's hard. It's really hard.
I'm going to get through this. It's been a while, but so I go to say goodbye. Never, my brother's like, he never will give you an I love you. I said, Chuck, he's like 3 days away from dying. I'm going to get an I love you out of him. So I said, hey, Dad. I walked to the bottom of the bed. I grabbed his big toe. Hey, I love you. And he goes, I know you do. I thought, oh, so close.
Yeah.
Then he goes, and I looked at him, and he goes, hey. I said, what? Like, here it comes, right? After all these years. You're a good son. I said, huh. Not good enough. So I walk out of the room. I get to the kitchen. I said, you know what? Damn it. I got to get an I love you out of him. Turn around, come back down the hallway. Hey, hey, hey. I look right at him, point. I love you. He went, yep. That was it. Darn it. So I said to Chuck, I didn't get an I love you from him. He goes, you know what? You didn't need that. He gave you something better. He gave you were a good son.
Right. And that is I love you. And not everybody is going to be able to say it, but maybe he felt like he was showing it in some way, I mean, maybe he felt like by just acknowledging the fact that you love him means, of course, he loves you back.
Yeah, that's true.
I know that maybe didn't mean as much at the time, but I'm sure he loved you as much as you loved him. I'm sure he adored you.
No, I loved him more. But no, I think he did. He just didn't know how to express that sort of stuff.
Right.
It was so funny. They took him to dinner at the Metropolitan Grill, and I said, hey, Dad, he's like 3 sheets to the wind on some vodka. I said, you got any regrets? Like, I'm trying to get something deep and emotional out of him. You got any regrets? Anything you look back on after 70, whatever it was, 75, 78 years? You would think anything in your life? He's like, yeah, I don't do regrets. I said, I know, but if you liked anything you think of, like, gosh, I just missed this opportunity. He said, I don't look at life like that. And I go, anything. I'm just trying to get one emotional thing. He goes, well, I did have an opportunity to have a menage a trois with you, with your mother and Mrs. Walhow. I said, Mrs. Walhow, the lady that had the yellow house with the hill we used to ride up our bikes and down? Yeah. I said, what the heck? Yeah, menage a trois. I said, when was that? He goes, it was 1976. It was the bicentennial. People were doing crazy things. He's like, oh yeah, the bicentennial minute on CBS, and they're like, you're just going nuts.
He had the Uncle Sam hat on. He was ready to go.
Mrs. Walhow. Mrs. Walhow going, hey, with the bicentennial, I was just eyeing you and your wife. And I was like, come on. The bicentennial? That's why she got all crazy? Menage a trois.
Was she hot? I mean, no. I mean, that's the important thing, right?
Sherry, come on.
Well,
Don't do that.
It was Mrs. What was it?
Walhow. I'm changing her last name. I'm changing her last name. She did have a bike. The driveway was quite steep. We used to ride our bikes up and down. And then when I went back, 60 years later, it was like, that was it? That was the driveway? And I look at her. It's like, wow, look at Mrs. Walhow.
I thought maybe the driveway was steep was a euphemism for something else.
You take a perfectly wonderful story about my father being drunk and regretting a menage a trois, and you soil it.